Chinese embassy has threatened Swedish government with consequences if they attend the prize ceremony of a Chinese activist. Swedish officials have announced that they will not succumb to these threats.
Here's a summary of the article.
China on Thursday threatened to impose countermeasures on Sweden if the culture minister Amanda Lind went ahead on Friday and handed out a free speech prize for the dissident Chinese writer Gui Minhai, who is currently imprisoned in China. Culture Minister Amanda Lind is scheduled to hand over the Tucholsky Prize on behalf of the free speech organization Swedish PEN. We firmly oppose representatives of the Swedish government attending such an event, and if they decide to stick to what they are doing, we will have no choice but to take countermeasures, Chinese Ambassador Gui Kongyu warned in an interview with Swedish radio. Swedish PEN's chairman Jesper Bengtsson said the ambassador's threatening language would only worsen the dispute. PEN International on Thursday issued a statement in support of its Swedish wing, saying it was appalled that it had faced threats from the Chinese embassy. Sweden's Foreign Minister Ann Linde has earlier pushed back at China over its criticism of Swedish PEN's decision to award Gui the prize. Sweden's principle of freedom of expression guarantees Swedish PEN the right to freely and without influence award the prize to whomsoever they wish. The Tucholsky Award is given by Swedish PEN to a writer or publisher who faces persecution or has been forced into exile.
This post received a score of 103,633, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Swedish source, with the statement of the Swedish Prime Minister.
Translated, it becomes something like,
Sweden telling China to suck their salty freedom balls on a world stage must be so satisfying.
They might actually lose a lot of trade from it. Norway lost trade with China after giving the Nobel Peace Prize to a Chinese dissident a few years ago. Current Norwegian government is very soft on China to maintain relations. Ballsy by the Swedes.
If all the countries would stand up to China, then all the trade repercussions would be just empty threats. China needs world trade, and if they stop trading with the world, they are the ones that will lose the most. Imho.
Yeah, but everybody is hoping they'll be the ones making a big profit when others show some semblance of integrity.
Truly, the economic dependence on China is the world's greatest threat.
This, and their other capacities that are a consequence of our reliance on them. The officials turn greed into resources for their global independence and power.
You gotta lower your ideals of freedom to suck on the warm teat of China. Good to see more and more governments and organizations finally have the balls to reject Chinese ridiculous demands.
China is a paper tiger. I wouldn't say the Swedes have massive balls, I'd just say they aren't idiots who got fooled by China, unlike some other countries.
I mean, they have the largest standing army on the planet by headcount, the second largest by military spending, the second largest economy, and a fifth of the world's population. I'm not sure I'd call them a paper tiger. Though all that is just even more reason we need to stand up to the Chinese government before its influence over the world grows out of control.
At this moment the US fields 10 nuclear aircraft carriers, just one could pressure an average country into submission. China's army is untested and its navy still in the fetal stage. Of course this won't stay that way for long if everyone keeps giving China what it wants and allows them to grow their power. This next 20 to 30 years or so will determine if this is the Chinese century, just as the beginning of the last vaulted America to global hegemon.
Yup, I definitely agree.
The Chinese activist is a Swedish citizen since the 90s who was kidnapped in Thailand by Chinese authorities because of his role as a publisher of government-critical literature in Hong Kong. Gui Minhai. He has been in Chinese prison for years now. Yes, China is threatening Sweden's government over attending an event honoring a Swedish citizen.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.